It's interesting how life changes with time. For decades, you might have felt that your body was steady, reliable, always responding in the same way. And then one day, often somewhere after 70, you begin to notice small differences that feel puzzling. Foods you enjoyed for years may leave you feeling heavier than before. You wake up rested, yet the energy doesn't carry through the afternoon as it once did. Even the simple act of climbing stairs, which felt automatic, can now feel like a conscious choice. None of this means you are failing or doing something wrong. It means only that your body, wise and seasoned, is asking for care in new ways. Vitamins often enter the conversation here, and it's natural to feel a little resistance. Why now? I never needed them before. Isn't food enough? These questions come from a place of honesty, and they deserve respect. The truth is that after 70, your body processes nutrients differently. The digestive system, like every other system, slows and changes. Absorption isn't as efficient, and sometimes, even with a balanced diet, your body struggles to get enough of what it needs. It's not about weakness, it's about biology, the quiet, natural adjustments of aging. Think of it this way. A beloved house that has stood for many decades doesn't suddenly become unworthy when it needs new paint or repairs. Its foundation is strong, its history beautiful, but to keep it comfortable and safe, it requires different attention than it did when it was new. Your body is the same. It has carried you faithfully, and now it simply asks for gentler, more intentional care. This isn't about swallowing a handful of pills to chase youth. It's about companionship, giving your body the quiet helpers it can no longer make use of on its own. It's about saying, I see you. I honor the work you've done. Let me give you what you need to keep going with grace. So, before thinking of vitamins as something foreign or unnecessary, pause and ask yourself, what if they are just another form of kindness? Not a punishment, not a reminder of aging, but a gift you offer yourself. Some people find it helpful to reflect on this. How have your needs changed in the last 10 years? Do you notice shifts in energy, memory, or the strength of your bones? These small signals aren't betrayals. They are your body whispering, help me in a new way. That whisper is where awareness begins, and awareness itself is already healing. And because each of us lives in a unique place, with different foods available and different climates shaping our health, I'm curious, where are you reading this from? Share your location in the comments. It will help us understand together how these changes feel across different parts of the world. There is a man I often think about when speaking of vitamin B12. His name is John, 74 years old, living in Ohio. For years, he brushed off his forgetfulness as just old age. Misplacing his keys, losing the thread of a conversation, forgetting the names of people he had known for decades, it all felt inevitable. But when his doctor checked his blood, the picture changed. John's B12 levels were much lower than they should have been. After a few months of careful supplementation, the fog began to lift. His memory was sharper, his energy steadier, and most importantly, he felt more like himself again. Stories like John's remind us that not everything we blame on aging is unavoidable. Sometimes the body is simply lacking a quiet helper. Vitamin B12 is one of those. Your body needs it for healthy nerves, for producing red blood cells, and for keeping your mind clear. But after 70, the stomach produces less acid, and this makes it harder to absorb B12 from food. Even if you're eating well, your body might not be receiving enough. That's why doctors often recommend testing levels regularly at this stage of life. If you notice unusual fatigue, memory changes, or even tingling in your hands and feet, these could be gentle signs worth listening to. And listening is the first act of wisdom. If your doctor finds that you are low in B12, there are simple, safe ways to help. Sublingual tablets, which dissolve under the tongue, are often absorbed better than standard pills. For some, especially with significant deficiencies, injections may be recommended. It may feel intimidating at first, but remember, this isn't about becoming dependent on something unnatural. It's about giving your body back what it can no longer extract efficiently. Think of it as returning a tool that slipped out of your hands. Adding B12 does not mean you are broken. It means you are adapting.
The practical steps are gentle ones. Begin with a conversation with your doctor and a simple blood test. If your levels are low, start slowly and observe how your body feels. Keep a small journal of your energy, mood, and clarity over a few weeks. Sometimes the changes are subtle, but over time they build into something meaningful. And as you reflect, ask yourself quietly, have you noticed changes in memory that trouble you, or is your energy slipping away faster than before? Bringing awareness to these questions without judgment is the beginning of care. No one expects you to transform overnight. It is enough to make small, thoughtful adjustments and see how your body responds. And if you find encouragement in John's story and in these gentle reminders, I invite you to subscribe. It's a simple way for us to stay connected, to continue sharing not just information, but a sense of companionship as we walk through these later seasons of life together. One of the quiet truths about growing older is that the body you walk with today does not respond to sunlight or food in the same way it did when you were 30 or 40. For many people, the skin gradually loses its ability to produce enough vitamin D, even if the days are bright and the air is warm.
At the same time, the digestive system becomes less efficient at drawing calcium from the foods you eat. This is why so many people over 70 face the silent challenge of weaker bones. It isn't a punishment, it's simply biology, the natural slowing down of processes that once worked without effort. Think of your bones as the strong pillars of a home that has weathered many seasons. They have carried you through decades of walking, working, laughing, and living. But just as the wood of a house needs care after years of rain and wind, your bones too ask for gentler attention. Without that care, small cracks may appear, sometimes unnoticed until they cause real pain. Some believe that just spending more time in the sun will be enough, but this is often a myth. After 70, even generous sunlight may not provide the vitamin D your body needs. That is why doctors often recommend supplements, not to replace nature, but to work alongside it. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium, and calcium in turn gives your bones the strength to carry you safely. Magnesium quietly joins this partnership, ensuring balance and preventing the stiffness that sometimes comes when calcium stands alone. A practical approach begins with awareness. Ask yourself, have you noticed your posture changing or your balance feeling less steady? Do you hesitate before stepping onto uneven ground, worried that a small fall could mean something larger? These are not signs of weakness, but signals from your body, gentle reminders that protection is needed. The steps to care are simple but important. A routine blood test can show if your vitamin D levels are low. If they are, supplementation is often both safe and effective. Calcium can come from diet, milk, yogurt, leafy greens, but sometimes a supplement ensures you receive enough. The key is balance and consistency, not large doses all at once. It is better to give your body small, steady gifts each day than to overwhelm it with sudden abundance. Remember, the goal is not to turn back time, but to support the time you have with steadiness and confidence. When you hold a cup of tea without fear of your hand trembling, when you walk through your garden without worrying about a stumble, that is health. It is freedom and it is dignity. Aging invites us to let go of the illusion that our bodies will always be as they were. But it also invites us to learn new ways of care, new forms of partnership with ourselves. Supporting your bones with vitamin D, calcium, and magnesium is not just about preventing fractures. It is about honoring the structure that has held you all these years and allowing it to continue carrying you with quiet strength. There is a certain tenderness in realizing that the heart and the mind, two of the most precious companions you carry, can still be nourished and strengthened even after 70. Omega-3 fatty acids are often spoken of in medical terms, but at their core, they are simply a way of offering quiet nourishment to your body. They soothe inflammation, support memory, and keep the rhythm of your heart steadier. And yet, many people hesitate, wondering if adding another supplement is truly necessary. The truth is, these oils are not a foreign thing. They are found in fish, in seeds, in the natural world that has always provided for us.
What changes with age is not the worth of these foods, but how consistently we are able to consume and absorb them. And that is where gentle supplementation can become a gift. The path to including omega-3s does not need to be overwhelming. Begin first with a conversation with your doctor. This is the step of respect for your body, for your health, and for the wisdom of guidance. Once you have that reassurance, you can choose your source. Some prefer fish oil capsules, others lean toward plant-based oils from algae, especially if digestion is sensitive. If you decide to try, start small. A daily dose of even 250 to 500 milligrams is often enough to bring benefits, and your body will tell you if it feels right. Listen closely. Does your digestion remain comfortable? Do you feel lighter after meals? Do your joints seem less stiff? These are the kinds of quiet answers your body can give. Take your supplement with food. This simple act helps absorption and reduces the chance of discomfort. If swallowing pills feels difficult, remember that liquid forms exist. A spoonful added gently into your routine may be easier and no less effective. And you don't need to rely only on supplements. Consider, too, the foods you welcome onto your plate. A piece of salmon or a small serving of sardines once or twice a week can add nourishment in a way that feels less clinical and more natural. Think of it not as a restriction, but as an expansion, a chance to enjoy flavors that carry healing within them. It may be helpful to imagine omega-3s as oil for the engine of your life. Over time, even the most reliable engine grows dry, and a little lubrication ensures smoother movement. Your heart, your memory, your joints, all are eased when they are cared for in this way. And in making these small, thoughtful choices, you may find not only better health, but also a sense of partnership with your body. It is a reminder that aging is not about decline, but about learning new rhythms, new ways to support yourself. Perhaps ask yourself, are you giving your heart and mind the nourishment they quietly request? The answer may not come at once, but even in asking, you are already on the path of care.
It speaks through small shifts, an afternoon fatigue that wasn't there before, a stiffness in the knees on cool mornings, a new sensitivity to certain foods. These are not punishments, they are messages. The question is not whether they appear, but whether you pause to notice and respond with kindness. Journaling can be a gentle way to begin. A small notebook by your bedside where you write a few words each day. How was your energy, your mood, your clarity? Over weeks, patterns emerge, and with them understanding. You may see that the fog you feel mid-morning lessens when you take a certain vitamin, or that your joints respond better when you drink enough water. Awareness turns scattered experiences into guidance. And in this process, you give yourself the gift of partnership. Imagine your body not as a machine wearing down, but as an old friend, wise and deserving of attention. This friend may no longer run as fast as before, but it carries stories, endurance, and quiet resilience. When you listen without judgment, you honor the journey you have walked together. I think of Margaret, 78, who once told me she feared every new ache was a sign of decline. But when she began writing down her daily experiences, she noticed something different. Her low moods coincided with skipping meals. Her energy brightened on days she walked in the garden, and her restless nights eased when she took her vitamin D in the morning rather than at night. None of these changes were dramatic, but slowly they rebuilt her trust in her own body. The wisdom here is simple. The body gives signals, and the act of listening is often the medicine itself. Ask yourself gently, do you rush past your discomfort, or do you pause to ask what it might be asking of you? Do you treat fatigue as an enemy, or as a quiet reminder to adjust? There are no right or wrong answers, only opportunities for awareness. Aging is not about fixing everything. It is about living more fully with what is, finding balance between acceptance and action. Supporting yourself with vitamins, with rest, with movement, and with attention is less about prolonging life and more about deepening the quality of each moment.
And so I leave you with this invitation. If these words resonate, if they remind you to be a little gentler with yourself, I encourage you to subscribe so we can continue walking this path together. And tell me in the comments which habit or vitamin feels most important for you right now. Your reflections may inspire someone else who quietly wonders the very same thing.